Hello and welcome to my Hobbit hole. I am so excited to share with you guys that I am once again co-hosting the Middle-earth Readathon that Reese puts on every year. This is the third year, I believe. Reese at the Writing Songbird is such a great host for this. I'm so glad that she's started this and that I get to be a part of it. It's really fun. So I'm sure you know what Middle-earth is if you clicked on the video, but Middle-earth is the world that J.R.R. Tolkien created for his fictional series. The ones more familiar to the public are The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. This year, it's going to run a little differently than it has in the past. We have done a little bit more to it this year, so you can take it in two ways. You can either go with a Hobbit bingo board, which we have a graphic for that Reese created, and we also have a Lord of the Rings bingo board, and they're really fun. They have different prompts, and the key, well, I guess one of the key things to remember about this year's readathon is we would like you to read a different book for every prompt. We do have a free space for each bingo board, and you don't have to complete both if you don't want to. If you do end up completing both, you will be entered in to win a prize at the end of the month. But yeah, you can essentially pick if you want to be on the Lord of the Rings team or the Hobbit team. The Hobbit is my favorite book, but I'm actually going to be on the Lord of the Rings team, and so I'm really excited to get started on reading these books. I've been planning them out and picking them out today, which books I'm going to read for which prompts, and now I'm sad that I have to wait like 10 more days to start these. Another thing is if you started a book in September or prior, but you end up finishing it in October, that will count for an October read. So just keep that in mind as well. We have two teams essentially is what we're doing here. And that's not the only change we have made. We have made a ranking system at the end for those who complete books. So how it's going to work is if you read one book for this readathon, you are a dwarf. If you get a bingo, so that is just in a row, so that's 3 books. If you use the freebie in the middle, it's technically 2 books. So if you get one bingo, you are of the race of men. If you get 2 bingos, you are an elf. And if you get a blackout on either of the boards, you get Hobbit status, which is like pinnacle in my opinion. But there's also a bonus. If you are super ambitious, I know some of you out there are like super readers, like you guys read so much, like so much. If you decide you want to tackle both bingo boards and get a blackout on both bingo boards, you will be considered a wizard, and that is when you will get to enter your name into the draw for the prize at the end of the month. We are still working on what that prize will look like, but it'll be good. I highly recommend you go check out Reese's announcement video for a lot more of the nitty-gritty details on how to enter the giveaway at the end, or any other details that you have questions for. We will also be doing some sprints. We don't have a sprint schedule yet, but we will be doing some sprints as a group. I need to also mention my other co-host. So Reese is the main brain behind this whole readathon, but we also have Celestria and Christy. So it's gonna be a fun time. We've all worked together in the past for this readathon, and it's been good. The sprints have been really fun. If you come out, we talk about Lord of the Rings, all things Middle-earth and Tolkien. Sometimes we do little trivia, sometimes we just visit, sometimes we read. Yeah, so definitely come out to those sprints. They will be announced on our channels and possibly our Instagrams if we remember to do it on Instagram. But definitely here on YouTube you will see that we're doing sprints. I think that's all for the details of the readathon for now. I do want to go through what I will be reading for the Lord of the Rings bingo board. So the freebie in the middle is my freebie, so I'm going to take it. But one of the prompts is Found Family, and I think I'm going to try Truth Cursed by Angie Dickinson. Yes, Dickinson. That one's been on my radar for a while now, and I'm going to try that one. And as far as I can tell, I just read a little bit of the synopsis, and it starts off talking about our main character as an orphan, and typically in fiction stories, when your main character is an orphan and that's like a key part of the story, typically the story resolves in a way that the orphan finds a family in some way, whether that's through friendship or whatever. So I'm gonna say maybe that's gonna be a found family book. The next one is A Dangerous Trial, and I'm gonna go with Half-Blood by J.L. Knight. So I read Resistance last year, absolutely loved it. This is technically the prequel, so I want to get this one in before I continue the series. And Half-Blood, from what I can read on the back, is his origin story, I guess. He is half Ryrick and half human. Ryrick is a beast, pretty much a savage beast. So he is half beast and half human. And because of that, he is taken into slavery and forced to become a gladiator. So I'm thinking these gladiator fights are his dangerous trials, right? Like, I think that works. I think so. I feel like it would work. The next one is a book with a comedic element, and I'm going to go with Leaven of Malice by Robertson Davies. This one has also been on my TBR for quite some time. It is an old book. I've never heard anything about it. Let's see. First published in 1954. This edition is from the 80s. But the story is from 1954, and all it says is a practical joke sets off a chain reaction of malicious but amusing catastrophes. So yeah, I mean, it says November 31st on the cover, but I'm going to read it in October. It's okay. So I'm assuming it's going to have some kind of comedic element based on practical jokes and amusing catastrophes. The next one I want to try for the prompt, A Dark and Dreary Place, is going to be Outlaw by Ted Dekker. This one, just based on the little bit I read on the synopsis, sounds like a man has like a war waging in his mind, is almost like two realities in his mind. They don't sound like fun places to be. Plus, it sounds like his mind is a difficult place to be in itself. So I'm going to go with Outlaw by Ted Dekker. The next one is a sequel, and that's going to be The Winds of God by Gilbert Morris. I'm currently reading that one, so long as I finish it in October, we'll be good to go with that one. That one is book 2 in the Wakefield Dynasty series by Gilbert Morris, and I am buddy reading this one with Bethany. The next prompt is An Unlikely Duo, and I'm going to be reading The Day Boy and the Night Girl by George MacDonald. And you would think, like, boy, girl, day, night sounds like a great duo, not an unlikely duo, but by the way that the synopsis read, it sounds like there's a witch. She subjugates a baby boy and a baby girl to different experiments. The two young people grow into opposites and must learn to conquer their fears and rejoice in the differences of others in order to become whole again. So, I don't know. It's maybe too much the other way, maybe too much of a very likely duo. But I struggled actually to find an unlikely duo this time around. I didn't know what to do. So I'm going to go with The Day Boy and the Night Girl. Hopefully it'll work. The next prompt is Sibling Loyalty, and I'm going to be trying The Unraveling of Emmeline Dulain by Lindsay Franklin. This one, it sounds like, from the brief little bit I read of it, it sounds like a woman has lost her sister. Her sister has disappeared, I think. She's trying to find her? Or did she die and she's trying to find who killed her? Something like that. Anyway, it sounds like it has to do with two sisters and one being loyal to the other. I don't know. And then the last one is a love story. And I'm going to go with Lord of Winter by Jill Williamson. This is also a second book in a series that I started in summertime. And I'm looking forward to reading... No, wait. I just read the first book a few weeks ago. Whatever. Anyway, this is going to be book 2. And based on the synopsis again, it sounds like it is a... It sounds like it starts off as a marriage of convenience right off the bat, and then stuff happens and they have to try and figure out if they want to make it work, I think. So that is what I'm going to be reading for the Lord of the Rings bingo. If I finish this bingo, get a blackout, and I decide to tackle the Hobbit bingo board, then I will upload a second video sharing what I plan to read for the Hobbit bingo board. So I'm really excited for this. Oh, I just love Middle Earth and the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. As you can tell, guys, I finally got my hands on my first Middle Earth Tolkien themed t-shirt, and this is actually a design that I designed and my cousin printed on a shirt, and so it's really special to me. My very first one, and I love it. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys decide to join the Readathon. Let me know in the comments below if you are planning to fit this into your TBR at all. It's really, really fun. I hope you come out to the sprints. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time, and I will see you guys all in whatever comes next. Bye!